What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. This video is inspired by Sam Solik. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a fitness influencer, content creator, whatever you want to call him, that all of his videos are very raw. He just kind of takes you through his day on what he does to get to the level he's at. He's at a very high level in his space, and I believe I'm at a very high level. I'm at a position where a lot of people would kind of dream of being in their golf game. The highest my handicap's ever been, or lowest, is a +5. Right now, I'm around somewhere between a +2 and a +4. I don't keep track of it. I do play in some professional golf tournaments, and sometimes I do make money, not all the times. My lowest score ever is a 62. I did that when I was a freshman in college, and my lowest score in the last year, I shot 63 a few times. So those are kind of like my credentials to prove that I'm at a higher level, if you want to say. But yeah, so I just want to take you along. I'm at Dobson. I'm going to start with doing some short game stuff, just kind of bring you through my practice, kind of what separates my practice from a typical amateur. It kind of helps me improve a little faster than kind of most. So let's get out there. I'm at Dobson at their short game area, which is awesome. Shout out to them for letting me use this place. And yeah, let's get talking about kind of what I do different, and hopefully you can take what I do, bring to your game, and start improving. So for my short game practice, I've been doing the same thing for probably 3 years now. It's the same idea, but never really the same shots. I always start with pitching wedge, I go gap wedge, and then I go to my lob wedge, sand wedge. I only carry 3 wedges, but I always grab 5 of my own golf balls, and I hit those from all over the place. Really kind of focusing on 1, some of the technique, and 2, really thinking about shot placement. I try to vary it up a lot, because if I just hit the same shot over and over and over again and then leave, it's hard to transfer it to the golf course. But if I bounce around, I feel a lot better about my chances to kind of hit the shot that I want on the course. So, I mean, these should be pretty routine for me. It's just this most simple bump and run. Just looking at a spot, I'm trying to land it, kind of run it up there. At the start too, I focus a lot on the fundamentals of this. Big thing, weight stays forward, trying to rotate with my chest. If I can start with these super short shots and really ingrain using the bigger muscles, keeping the weight forward, it makes it easier when I get for the more difficult shots. Like if I was doing all this stuff on these short ones, it's definitely going to come out when I do the long ones. So it's kind of just like a quick reminder. It's something super basic that you would think should just happen every time, but for some reason it doesn't. And I have had the yips before, and I've had them recently actually. So it's just kind of a reminder just to kind of keep everything in check, keep everything consistent. Oh, I made it. A lot of this too is a bit of confidence boosters, if you want to say. This is a shot that, yes, should be super simple, but if you get on the golf course and you're like, this is super simple, I should get this up and down all the time, you kind of just build a whole lot of pressure on yourself. But for myself, doing these a bunch, I can get up to the course and be like, I've hit this thousands of times. What's saying I can't hit a good one now? So that's 5 there. Last one wasn't my best, but now we'll pick them up, find a different spot, using the same club. I use the same club for, I honestly couldn't tell you the time frame. I probably hit 30 or 40 shots with each club. So that was 5. Let's go to the next spot. The one thing I like about bouncing around all the time too is it allows me to be more reactive when I get onto the golf course. So I hit all these different shots, I hit some different flights, and I can see how much they roll out and release. So then I can take all those kind of learnings basically and transfer that to the golf course, where when I get up to a shot, I'm not looking at it going, well, if I landed there, do I think it's going to roll out far enough? I've hit a bunch of shots, I know the flight and everything. And then I can be confident with it. Yes, the greens at different golf courses are gonna react a little bit different, but once you hit a couple shots, it's easier to pick it up. But I know generally how far I'm gonna fly it, how far it's gonna release. Just have to do slight adjustments when I go to a different golf course. So now I'm gonna bounce around a little more with pitching wedge, and I'll come back to you when I get to the gap wedge. So now I finished up with the pitching wedge. Now we're onto the 52. Same concept here. I'm just hopping around to spots that I think I would utilize my gap wedge for. Some of them are gonna be chips that I just hit with the pitching wedge, that I'm kind of on the edge of would I hit pitching wedge or would I hit gap wedge. This will be kind of the determining factor to figure out which one I like better. But again, same idea. The last one, couldn't tell you how many chips I hit, but it was a little under 10 minutes of time. So you don't have to do this for very long. You don't have to do this for like some ridiculous amount of time. The biggest thing is making sure you're chipping in a time period that you can stay focused for. Once you get past that, you're almost doing damage to yourself. Well, not damage to yourself, but like damage to your game, damage to your field, because you're just randomly hitting shots. So just make sure you can keep going until, make sure as you're going, you can stay focused, but no need to push past that. Like, you're not going to gain anything by being out here for 4, 5, 6 hours when you stopped being focused after an hour. That's just not very beneficial. It's not really great for your time too. You're really going to gain stuff in that first hour when you're focused, but after that, it's kind of just, you're just doing stuff. And as you can see with this, I don't really take practice swings on these because I want it to be very reactive. I want to just kind of visualize where I want to hit it, visualize the height, and then be able to feel it out during the swing. I mean, there's definitely times where it makes sense to make practice swings, more difficult shots. When I'm on the golf course, I'll do a couple, but for this, I want to just challenge myself to react to it. So I just kind of get up here, look at the spot, hit the shot, and then I can kind of determine it from there. That one I miss hit to about 2 inches, so that was cool. But yeah, so just, you know, picking spots. Last thing I want to look at is where I want to land it and fire away. I'm really just trying to make this whole area as simple as possible for myself, because we already know it's difficult. So once again, gonna hop around to a bunch of different spots, and I'll be back when I get to the lob wedge. So now on to the lob wedge. Just got done with the gap wedge. That section of practice was a little bit longer than the pitching wedge because there's just a few more shots that I will hit with the club as the loft goes up. So I would expect the 58 to be a little bit longer. First one with pitching wedge was around 10 minutes. Next one I hit gap wedge for about 15. I wouldn't be surprised if I hit this for about 20. Because there's some basic shots I'd hit with it. There's some more difficult shots I'd hit with it. There's some bunker shots I'd hit with it. I want to practice off really bad lies because this is something that gets pretty difficult when you get off kind of those hard pan ones. So this is why the practice is sectioned out how it is. But same idea with this. Gonna pick different spots, pick different shots, just go around all the spots that I think I'd hit lob wedge for. One thing I will say that I've been working on with this club is I had the yips for a little bit, meaning that everything was jerky. Mentally, I didn't like anything. I bladed a lot of chips. What I've done to get away from it and feel a little bit better is, one, like I said earlier, is focus on the weight being forward. So I've hit a lot of chips with this heel up in the air. Just kind of makes it so I can't really shift or anything. And the second thing is the length of my swing. There's been a lot of chips that I'm pretty sure, the ones that I blade, it's short and it gets really jerky, and then I lift and blade and all that. So I'm thinking about a little longer, a little smoother. It makes the higher shots easier for sure, but it's just really committing to kind of long and smooth. And it helps me hit, you know, better shots. That was a lot better. That's kind of more the shot I was trying to hit. And I gotta say, I don't wish the yips on anyone. It is such a weird and frustrating and somewhat embarrassing thing where I can get the ball 500 yards down a hole in 2 shots. Pretty simple, pretty easy. But then I have a shot that's way easier than this, and then I just get terrified over. So I definitely don't wish it on anyone. But just thinking about tempo has really done a lot for me in that sense. I don't have the videos for it, but yesterday we played at Troon, and there was a couple chips that I would have been pretty scared about before, because it had decent bit of fairway to rough to fly through. It was a very small landing area and it needed to spin. It's kind of a difficult shot if you're terrified of chipping. So it's definitely helped me. And the tempo too, it's helped me use kind of the chest and shoulders a little bit more. I'll slow it down in the video, but I'm thinking wider and lower, so it's not lift. That's where there's just too much hands. Like obviously, yeah, I hinge it a little bit, but I can just use the chest a lot more, and it's just way more consistent. Like I'll show you this grouping, way more consistent. Like look at this grouping. This shot wasn't the most difficult, but it wasn't the simplest chip, and that's what my dispersion is right now. So yeah, I mean, for someone who had the yips probably like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. A week ago I bladed a chip over green. I can definitely remember that. So it's definitely getting better. So the tips do work. If you're questioning if they work, they do work, because I'm working through it. So again, just like I did with the other clubs, I'm just gonna hop around, hit a bunch of different shots, 5 at a time, just get some practice in. So I just finished up my chipping with the 58-degree chipping, pitching, whatever you want to call it. I made sure to hit some shots that I was uncomfortable with some bad lies and out of bunkers. I think that's something that everyone should remember to do. Something everyone should remember to do. Hit out of bad lies, hit out of difficult shots, hit out of bunkers. It's so easy and it's nice to go around a chipping green, hit everything to a foot, look all cool for everyone else is around there, but it's not really going to benefit you because you're only working on your strengths. They're already strengths. Work on your weaknesses. So I struggle with hitting high, so I hit some flop shots over the trees. I struggle with really difficult, like bare sitting down lies when it comes to the lob wedge, so hit a couple of those different ones, some over a bunker. So just a little tip on something that you should do. Now, for the rest of my practice session, I'm lucky enough that Dobson's lets me out here and they have a cool facility. For everything I've done before, or already, something I believe everyone could do at any course, because generally there's a green that you could chip on, and I didn't do anything special. Now, here, lucky enough, they have mats and different greens, so I can hit 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-yard shots. So that's what I'm gonna go around and do. There are some other people here, so I'm probably only gonna be able to hit like up to 60, I think, right now, unless they finish by the time I finish or before I finish. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. For this, I do the exact same thing with the golf balls, 5 balls, my own golf balls. I really just want to do this to develop feel around the greens, feel at the longer shots. So changing it up, making sure I'm not just sitting here hitting 40 golf balls, makes it so I'm able to develop that feel. One key thing too, I use my own golf balls in these situations because they react a lot different compared to a range ball. If I was gonna hit a range ball, all these are gonna fly higher and spin a lot less, but because I'm using my own ball, I can hit the lower flighted shot that spins more, which is what I expect the ball to do when I'm on the course. So I would rather, and I'd rather everyone else, practice with your own golf ball so everything reacts the same. Like if I was gonna get up to this shot, I want to see that. Mid-flight, couple hop spins. If I was hitting a range ball, that thing would have launched way higher, probably landed in a similar spot, but also probably roll off the back of the green, and then I'm just sitting here questioning if I hit it good or not. So always use your own golf ball. If only it went another inch. That's what we're all looking for, 1 more inch. So that right there is all I got for the chipping, pitching, wedge practice that I do. Like I said, everything I did in the beginning is definitely possible at a normal practice facility. I definitely could have done this at the front of Dobson where it's open to the public, but it's just easier to film back here. There's generally less people. Right now there's a college team out here, which is why I'm hiding in the cart, but yeah, that's why I'm out here. For the wedge practice, I'm lucky they let me out here. If you don't have a situation like this where you have somewhere to practice, you can definitely do this on the range. Just try and find different targets at 40, 50, 60, 70 yards and just kind of vary the shots to those. But you can definitely get a good wedge practice in on the range. But that's all I got for this video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you like the format. It's definitely something new. Leave a comment down what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what you think I should change, you know, open to suggestions. Just trying to find kind of my format. There's a lot of people doing golf content. I'm just trying to find what the audience is looking for and what fits me best. So that's what this video is. So with all that said, thanks for watching. If you made it to this part in the video, leave a comment down below. Say something about the sunglasses. Add sunglasses into the caption. Then I'll know you stuck all the way to the end. But with all that said, thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.